Last lesson closed with a promise, a new family altogether. Here it is, the fourth declension, built on the letter U. It is the smallest family you have met, and it runs Caesar's entire army. The army, the cavalry, the attack, the arrival, the wings of the battle line. Here the two model nouns.
adventus, cornū,
Arrival, horn. One trap waits at the door. You have known nouns ending in
us,
since your earliest lessons, the slave, the master, the son, and those belong to the second declension. Same dress, different family. Only the genitive tells them apart, and by the end of this lesson, it always will. Then you read a battle, an attack on a Roman camp, answered wing by wing. 12 words come with this lesson. 11 new, one an old friend, and 8 are nouns of the new declension. The first 4 are the army's own.
exercitus,
Army.
equitātus,
Cavalry, the horsemen of lesson 39 gathered into a single body.
impetus,
Attack. English borrowed the word whole. It rides with an idiom, to make an attack on. Here it aimed at a camp.
impetum facere incastra,
The attack is made into its target. Accusative.
adventus,
Approach, arrival, think advent. 4 more nouns.
cornū,
A horn, and from its curved shape, the wing of an army, the end of the battle line. Think cornucopia, the horn of plenty. 2 idioms come with it.
a dextrō cornū,
On the right wing,
a sinistrō cornū,
on the left wing,
manus,
hand, think manual, work done by hand, also a band, a force of armed men. And mark the card, this noun is feminine.
lacus,
Lake, it hides one rebel ending, the paradigm notes will name it.
portus,
Harbor, think port. The lake and the harbor sail together in today's exercises. 2 prepositions frame the battle story and both take the accusative.
ante,
Before, think antedate, dated before.
post,
Behind or after, think post-mortem, after death. Before their arrival, after their arrival. These 2 will steer the reading. 1 new verb of the first conjugation.
cremō,
Burn, think cremate. And the old friend, back for review.
exerceo,
Practice, drill, train, think exercise. Now set its fourth principal part beside today's word for army. They are the same word, letter for letter. An army to the Roman ear is the drilled thing, a body of men the state keeps in training. Now the rules. Rule 1. Nouns of the fourth declension are either masculine or neuter. Rule 2. Masculines end in
us,
neuters end in
u,
the genitive of both ends in.
as,
That genitive is the family passport. Set the slave beside the arrival.
servus, adventus,
Identical nominatives, now the genitives.
servi, adventus,
Second declension, fourth declension. The genitive never lies, which is why the dictionary always hands it to you. And the exception to rule 1, a few nouns of this family are feminine, chief among them the house and the hand.
domus, manus,
The hand stands on today's list. The house returns next lesson with a declension all its own. The masculine models their rival. Stem,
adventu,
basi.
advent,
The singular,
adventus, adventus, adventui, adventum, adventu,
nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, ablative. Look down the endings. Every one of them opens with the letter U. That vowel is the family signature. 2 cells ask for care. The genitive, where the second declension answers with a long letter I, this family answers with its own.
us,
And the dative has a shorter twin. Beside the full form, the paradigm allows plain.
adventu,
Identical to the ablative. The plural,
adventus, adventium, adventibus, adventus, adventibus,
the dative and ablative were the third declension's coat.
ibus,
Now count something more slippery. Genitive singular, nominative plural, accusative plural, 3 different cells and all 3 read.
adventus,
1 spelling, macron and all filling 3 jobs. The possessor, the subjects, the objects. No ending will rescue you here. The sentence must. When you meet the form, ask first what the verb needs and what stands beside it. The neuter model, the horn, stem.
cornū,
Bas,
corn.
chant the singular.
Cornū, cornus, cornū, cornū, cornū.
One cell moves, the genitive, and the other four are a single unchanging form. The old neuter law still holds nominative and accusative twins, but here the whole singular has nearly frozen. The plural stirs again.
Cornua, cornuum, cornibus. Cornua, cornibus.
Nominative and accusative match in.
Wa,
The genitive doubles its u, and the dative and ablative return to the borrowed code. One comfort closes the table. This is the only neuter of the fourth declension in common use. Master the horn and the whole neuter wing is yours. 3 notes, then a quick drill. First, the base. Drop the ending of the genitive singular, exactly as in every other declension.
advent, corn.
Second, the lake rebels. In the dative and ablative plural, its ending is not.
Ibus,
But
ubus.
the harbor accepts either.
Portubus, portibus.
Third, you have heard it already. Among neuters, only the horn is in common use. Now the drill. Give the ablative singular of the harbor.
Portu.
The bare long U. Now the dative plural of the lake.
Lacubus.
The rebel keeps its U where the rest of the family borrows an I. Now read. The scene, a Roman camp, the enemy close, Caesar not yet arrived. Translate each sentence in the pause. First,
Ante adventum Caesaris veloces hostium equites acrem impetum in castra fecerunt.
before Caesar's arrival, the swift horsemen of the enemy made a fierce attack on the camp. The first preposition takes its accusative before the arrival, and the idiom appears in full. An attack made onto the camp. Swift and fierce are last lesson's adjectives. Next,
Continere exercitum aprelio non facile erat.
to hold the army back from battle was not easy. The subject is the infinitive, so the adjective goes neuter, last lesson's closing rule, and the army stands in the accusative. Caesar arrives and the story turns. Next,
Post adventum sum Caesar iusit legiones ex castris duci.
after his arrival, Caesar ordered the legions to be led out of the camp. The second preposition earns its keep after the arrival, and the final word is a passive infinitive, to be led. Then the clash.
Pro castriscum hostium equitatu pugnatum est.
Word for word, in front of the camp with the cavalry of the enemy, it was fought. Latin lets the verb stand alone with no subject at all, an impersonal passive. English asks for one. A battle was fought before the camp with the enemy's cavalry. The Romans hold and the enemy gives ground. Next,
Post tempus breve equitatus trans flumen fugitu bicastra hostium posita erant.
after a short time, the cavalry fled across the river where the enemy's camp had been pitched. Watch the cavalry. It is the subject, nominative, singular. One small mark on the page keeps that form apart from the genitive singular and both plurals. In the pronunciation of this course, nothing does. The verb settles it. A single body fled, not many. Next,
Tum victor imperator agros vastavit et vicos hostium cremavit.
Then the general, as victor, laid waste the fields and burned the enemy's villages. The new verb, in the perfect. The word for victor stands beside the general like an adjective, the victorious general. One thing the victor left alone,
Castrautem non oppugnavit quia milice rende fessi, e locus difficilis.
The enemy's camp, however, he did not assault because the soldiers were worn out and the ground was difficult. The little word meaning, however, usually takes second place in each sentence and never the first. And there the reading closes, hung on today's two prepositions, an attack before the arrival, a battle after it, a flight across the river, and a camp left standing. Now you write the Latin, first on the water. Ask, did you see the man of war on the lake?
Vidis tine navem longam în lacu?
The question hangs on the attached particle of lesson 36, and the man of war is lesson 43's long ship. On the lake, the ablative of place. The reply, I did not see it on the lake, but I saw it in the harbor.
Eam in lacu non vidi, sed in portu vidi.
The ship is feminine, so the little word for it is feminine as well. Lake and harbor both close on the bare long U, the fourth declension's ablative. Now the battle line. This question expects the answer no. Caesar did not make an attack on the cavalry on the right wing, did he?
Num Caesar impetum in equitatum ad dextrō cornū fecit?
The opening particle promises the no. The attack strikes its target through the accusative, and the wing idiom rides in the ablative. The answer keeps the promise. No, he made an attack on the left wing.
Minime a sinistrō cornū impetum fecit.
The idiom answers the idiom. Right wing in the question, left wing in the reply. The last set turns from war to a horse. Who taught your swift horse to obey?
Qui secium tum veloce imparere docuit?
Swift is last lesson's one-ending adjective, here in the accusative, and the infinitive completes the verb of teaching. Next, I trained my horse with my own hands, nor was the task difficult.
Ecum meis menibus exercui, nece opus erat difficile.
There is the hand in the ablative plural and the review verb in the perfect. Note that the horse takes no possessive. Latin drops it when the owner is obvious. Last, he is a beautiful animal and has great strength.
Pulchrum animal ete magnas vir sabe.
Great strength is the plural of lesson 44's rebel noun, force in the singular, strength in the plural. The fourth declension in one breath. Masculine or neuter, masculines in
Us,
neuters in
u,
and the genitive in
us,
the passport that parts the arrival from the slave. One spelling fills 3 cells, genitive singular, nominative plural, accusative plural. And only the sentence chooses, the dative and ablative plural borrow,
ibus,
except the lake's rebel.
ubus.
The horn is the only common neuter, 4 of its 5 singular cells identical, the genitive alone standing apart. The house and the hand are feminine. 11 new words are yours, 8 of them nouns of the new family, an entire army in one declension. Next lesson, the house keeps its promise, expressions of place, and a declension of its own. To practice what you just learned, this course has free exercises and AI-graded feedback on ludium.ai. The link is in the description.